If we had to look at the Bassmaster Classic and all the anglers participating in the Classic in a Vegas-style odds-making prediction, what would be the odds of each angler participating? That's what we're going to talk about right now. For years when I did the radio show, I would invite my friend Ken Duke onto the show, and we would do a Vegas-style odds for every angler to pick who we thought had the best chances of winning the Bassmaster Classic. It was always a lot of fun, and it generally came down to we had the top 5 or 6 or 7 anglers that we thought had a real good chance at winning, and they would be on both our lists. These days I'm doing YouTube instead of a live radio show, and I wanted to do another prediction Vegas odds style video where we can compare and see what I thought the odds were for each angler in the 2025 Classic would be. And how I got these results is I went through every angler and looked at all the times that they fished in Texas and how they finished. In 2025, Ray Roberts is going to offer some shallow water fishing, but I think we're going to see a lot of forward-facing sonar too. So some of those anglers that are more dominant with forward-facing sonar are definitely going to get a better odds of winning, because I think forward-facing sonar is going to play a big part in the Classic. But if you didn't know, 9 anglers are coming from Alabama, 4 from Florida, 4 from Canada, congratulations to them, 3 from Louisiana, 5 from Georgia, 3 from South Carolina, 4 from Tennessee, and there'll be 3 anglers from Texas. And those Texas anglers have a real great shot of winning on a pond in their home state. So those guys are going to see way up there. Now to start off, no offense to the Bass Open guys and the Bass Nation, those guys. Those anglers that are on the Bass Nation that qualified or on the Team Challenge or the college thing, their odds are going to be way up there. They generally enjoy the fishing, but the media responsibilities, all the things that come with being at the Classic, take their toll on anglers that aren't used to being under the microscope like you are at the Classic. With 56 anglers there, while it's the hardest to get into, it's the easiest tournament to win because there just isn't the same amount of competition. But for these anglers, I think their odds of winning are about 40-1, and that includes Cody Stahl, Dylan Atkins, Tyler Campbell, Blake Copes, Connor Jacob, and Jeremy Knepp. And those were all Open, College, Team Champions, and Bass Nation anglers, but 40-1 odds. From there, we'll go to the Opens. Now, some of the Opens guys are elite champions or elite anglers, so they know that they can do well. But like Scott Martin has never really done well on Ray Roberts, so I have him at 24-1. You look at Kyle Austin, I have him at 30-1. Bobby Bakewell, I have him at 20-1, only because he's a Florida angler, and that type of fishing on Ray Roberts might be better, and he's a sentimental favorite, so I gave him a little bump. Jeremiah Kindy won an Open, I have him at 30-1. Josh Butler, I have him at 24-1. Easton Fothergill, I have at 15-1, because Easton is a seriously great angler. And all these guys are great anglers, to be honest. And lastly, another Open winner was Jay Shakurat. I have him at 12-1. I think Jay is probably one of the favorites going into the Classic. And from there, we have Justin Hamner, who won the Classic last year. Can he win it back-to-back? I think he's probably 12-1 to win it. I believe Corey Johnson is one of the guys we should be watching for, and his odds are 8-1. Chris Zaldane, who's a Texas angler, I think his odds are probably 10-1 and will be one of the favorites. Chris Johnston, I have at 15-1. Trey McKinney, I think he'll be at 8-1. Jacob Fouts, I think he'll be 18-1. I think Cody Huff is probably 23-1 odds. John Garrett, I think, is 20-1 odds. I think Jordan Lee's probably, without question, the hands down, for sure, favorite, because he's had a 15th, a 4th, a 1st, a 22nd, and a 5th on Texas. He is 7-1 to win. From there, Wesley Gore is probably 12-1, and so is Tyler Williams. Patrick Walters will be one of the favorites. Why? A 12th, a 24th, a 34th, a 4th, a 10th, a 2nd, a 31st, a 1st, and a 29th. He is 6-1 odds. Robert Gee is 21-1. JT Tompkins, who I think has something to prove and might have a chip on his shoulder, has done very well there in Texas. He's had a 13th and a 34th. I think he's 11-1 odds. I think Kyle Patrick is 15-1 odds. Cooper Gallant is probably 15-1 odds also. Brandon Lester from Tennessee always seems to be in the mix. Always seems to be in the mix. I think he's 18-1 odds. Same with Will Davis Jr. Lee Livesey from Texas is 5-1 odds. I think Lee has a great opportunity to win the Classic. I really like his chances. Logan Parks is 22-1. John Cox from Florida is 13-1, but that is dependent that the weather warms up and that the fish have moved shallow. If the fish move shallow, John is in a good shot of winning because he's had a 22nd and a 67th place out there in Texas. Hunter Shryock is 19-1 because Hunter's had a couple good tournaments out there. Justin Atkiss is 21-1 odds. Drew Benton from Florida is 18-1 odds. Kyle Norsetter is 20-1 odds. Matt Array is 12-1. And you might say, why? 2021 Classic, he finished second, and he's had a 45th and an 18th place in Texas. Ben Milliken is 10-1 odds. You might not like him, you might love him. He has a real good shot at winning the Classic. Pat Schlapper is 21-1. Caleb Summerall is 22-1. Stetson Blaylock, I think, is 20-1. Drew Cook. I love Drew Cook. He's had a 9th, a 5th, and a 6th in Texas. I think he's 9-1. Wes Logan, I think, is 18-1. Jacob Prosnick, love this guy too. Has had some good tournaments out there, an 11th place finish, 33rd and a 36th. I think he's 14-1. Taku Ito has had some really good tournaments too. He's 16-1. Kyoto Fujita really should be on your radar. He is 12-1, only because he's had a 17th and a 19th. Alex Weatherall is 15-1. Shane LaHue is 12-1. Jeff Gustafson is 12-1. Alex Redwine is 19-1. Greg Hackney is 13-1. That's weather dependent again. Tyler Rivet is 17-1. Brian Schmidt, who I think just seems to finish well in every tournament, is 11-1. And then Carl Jacobson is 19-1. Now, of course, these are just me coming up with my own odds. But honestly, I looked up everybody. Like you look at Matt Murray, 12-1. He's had a 45th, 102nd, 66th, a 2nd, and 18th. And remember, he finished second at the Classic last time they were at this exact place. Different time of year, but 12-1. But some of these guys I had to rate higher and lower because if they're a scoper or if they're not a scoper. So they got a little bit of a bonus because of it. And really, I only put one person as a sentimental, and that's Bobby, and I really hope that he does well. Who is your odds-on favorite to win the Classic? Give me your top 5. And let's see how close you can be. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. Thanks to all the people who comment on the channel, who are new subscribers, who are new members. I really do appreciate it. You guys humble me, and I'm so appreciative of all the love and this community that we've built as a team. This is us. You might just see me, but it's you and I respect everybody. But if you're not a subscriber, you should be. So click that button. Welcome to the team. Remember, take a kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.